Hi everyone. So I have completed the third round of DMSA for the Cutlers Chelation, and I just thought I'd give you an update. So just to say that this week was the week of basically the part of my menstrual cycle where I have problems anyway with emotional difficulties and everything else. So it's normally from the day before and then until about day 6 or 7, so it's literally been banging this week. This is day 6 today, so generally this week is just like a total write-off for me. I usually experience really severe derealisation, my mental health's bad, anxiety's really bad. I'm just basically on the edge of a panic attack the whole week, so just bear that in mind. So on the first day I had a week break last week. If you remember, I wanted to restore my adrenals and basically give my body a rest, so I did that, and I was taking double doses of my adrenal support, like ACE and the Holy Basil and the Rhodiola Rosa. So that actually worked because I felt like less sort of whirling thoughts, and the songs that were playing in my head constantly just dissipated, so that worked. I was ready for Chelation on Monday. So Monday, and I'll just note as well, I'd managed to take all my doses, even at night time. I find that's not a problem. Thankfully, I'm able to sleep well. I am a bit concerned that may change, but I've always been a really good sleeper. For about the last 5 years now, I've never had an issue with falling asleep, and I can sleep for 12 hours a day sometimes, but I try not to, obviously, because that's too much. So I did manage to take my doses and fall back to sleep straight away. Monday, my mood wasn't too bad, quite depressed and fed up, but short-lived. It was just bleak overall. I wasn't really anxious, it was just more a low mood type of thing. And physically I had a tense jaw again and hands, and just tired and achy really. The report was I wasn't actually as spaced, and the round wasn't too bad that day, so it didn't really feel like I was on round. Usually when I'm on round I feel a little bit run down, but that day I just wasn't really a lot different than normal days anyway. Tuesday, a bit tearful and short moments of panic, but not as spaced. Physically tense jaw, achy hands, nothing too bad. Report was not too bad. I started folinic acid that day as well, so I was taking methylfolate and realised I've got slow COMT variations, so I started taking folinic acid, and I've had no problems with that I'm aware of as well. And actually that day I got my period, and usually as well I experience really severe menstrual cramps and just I'm bedbound the whole day, but actually it wasn't bad whatsoever. I had slight discomfort and then that was it. I was expecting the whole cycle to begin of cramps and just basically being debilitated and just in a wreck really with pain, but nothing didn't come, so that was really good. Wednesday, on my third day on round, this is my last day on round, so the mood was just nothingness, kind of lost but not too bad. Physically a bit dizzy and achy, also tired, nothing severe, and just dazed really, but wasn't anything too bad. And then it was last day on round. Woke up at 7 a.m. and tired, woke up at 7 a.m. not tired and got up easily as well. So again, like I've said, I sometimes sleep, I have to set an alarm for half 8 in the morning just to wake up, otherwise I won't wake up till 10. And even if I went to bed at 11, I'll still not wake up till 10 o'clock. I'll get up in the night to go to the toilet, but that's about it. And if I have to wake up really early, for me is 7, I really struggle and just feel totally groggy. But actually I woke up at 7 that day and I wasn't tired. I felt refreshed and I got up quite easily, which was good. And up until this point I hadn't ate any thiols. Obviously I did eat them on Sunday, but then I decided to come back off them because I didn't have a severe reaction, but I just felt generally better, so I thought off them. But on Wednesday I did eat thiles because I remember I made my tea and it was squash, pork chops and salads like cucumber, lettuce and avocado, and that's like all low thiol. And then for some reason I found a bag of cauliflower rice in the freezer and heated that up and put it with it, and I just totally forgot that's like total thiols, and I had it but nothing really bad happened. Thursday mood was very neutral, generally okay. I went to university that day and I wasn't really that spaced. Like normally at uni the depersonalization is quite bad, it wasn't really that bad. I remember that day I just had like a normal okay day. Like I think I checked in like 3 times in my head thinking, how do I feel? And then I thought, yeah, I feel alright. So that was a big achievement, especially like for day 3 as well, of my cycle. And I was just like tired, dreaming a lot as well. Like I've been dreaming quite a lot of vivid dreams. Nothing bad, like actually it's quite enjoyable, but it's like usually again at this time of month I do have a lot of dreams, but they've been like very elaborate and sort of quite detailed and vivid. So and this was the first day of off round, and I reported that I felt okay considering it was the first day off round. Friday my mood was just again nothingness, neutral. It was just one of them days that it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was just like a normal day, like, and I thought to myself actually, if I felt like this for a long period of time I would be okay with it, because I was just able to deal with it. Like I wasn't really thinking about how I felt that much, which is a really big thing for me. And then physically I felt hungover in the morning, had pains in my hands and in my jaw, and then I decided to have a high dose of vitamin C. So I've got that vitamin C powder. I think I had like a heaped teaspoonful, so it must have been about 5 or 6 grams of it, and I necked that back with water. And I had a disrupted sleep as well that night. I think I woke up again about 7, but I wasn't like to get up at that time. I just fell back asleep, and I think I struggled to get back asleep as well, but it wasn't like anything too severe. Yesterday was a bad day. Yesterday was day 5 and of the cycle, and for me usually the worst days are probably like days 3, 4 and 5, because I think the progesterone level's the lowest and the estrogen is also really low. It's just like where hormones are just pretty like non-existent. Like progesterone, I think for me, makes us feel good, because at the end, after ovulation, between ovulation and menstruation, it's like I feel quite decent on them days. So, and I think for some reason I've got this feeling, and I can't find any research about it, but I feel like vitamin C for me disrupts with my hormones, because I felt really PMSy yesterday, and like I had like cramp, and also had like pain in my bladder, like a UTI feeling. I think I just took too much vitamin C. I might need to change it from the absorbic acid to the other kind. I can't remember what the other kind is, just to see how that works out. But I need to remember that like vitamin C sort of can mess with my hormones a little bit, and I don't know if that's like any credible, sort of opinion, but I just feel like that's what happens. So mentally it was like a bad day yesterday for my mental health. I was just like, felt on edge all day, a bit panicky, like depersonalized was quite like what it used to be. And it's hard when you've went from having a lot of good days and then you have like a day like you used to have, and it feels so much worse because you kind of forget how bad those days were, even though you've had them like 100 of them, hundreds of them even, like possibly, but it's still just a shock the next time as much as it was the first time. So, and the worst part of it is, it's like you think, well, when is this going to stop and when am I going to feel a bit better again? Because it's like feels a bit unpredictable sometimes for me. But I just always need to remember that these days are generally crap anyway, and I'm expected to feel bad. And actually I got away with being alright for the first couple of days of my cycle anyway. And then yesterday I was just tired, and actually I woke up at night absolutely drenched in sweat, and that's like doesn't normally happen to me. But I remember I was just like, my t-shirt was stuck to my like back, and I was like, what the heck? I was so just like clammy, and I had a fever when I woke up, and I felt nauseous. I felt ill really yesterday, like just not really well at all, like physically or mentally. So that's obviously redistribution had hit, and probably like had probably had too much vitamin C, and I don't know if that's because it's like my body didn't process it well, or something to do with estrogen or like hormones being altered with. But you know, I just, one of them days where I just wanted it to end, and I got through it. And then today I actually woke up feeling a lot better. Still a little bit sort of not feeling great, like, but not feeling terrible. Bit of a headache. I woke up like about, I think it was about 8:30. Managed to get up and like I remember I thought to myself, right, I feel better now this morning. But I'm gonna start again another round tomorrow. I think I might like up the dose. I've got a capsule machine, and I was gonna put some. I've got 3mg doses of DMSA, sorry, that I've ordered. So I think I'm gonna make up 1.5mg capsules and put some vitamin C powder with those. I'm just hoping that the vitamin C powder doesn't like mess things up. I could put like coconut flour in with them just as a filler, or I could put a little bit of vitamin C, a little bit of coconut powder. So I'll see how that goes. I think I've done 3 rounds of 1mg, and I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not to up the dose, but I feel like I should be alright on 1.5. And this had been my plan for a long time, so I'm just going to bite the bullet and up the dose. If I feel too terrible, I'll just like ride it out, and then I'll lower the dose for the next round. But I am planning on having a week off anyway after this week, like this next week, sorry, because I think what I'm going to do in my schedule is have 2 weeks of chelation, 1 week off, 2 weeks of chelation, 1 week off. I've got exactly a month today till I can start ALA, so I've actually done 2 months already without the fillings, and I've definitely seen improvements, like 100%. It didn't feel like it yesterday, but like I'm having more better days than worse days now, and I can feel like I'm starting to come back to myself. I mean, especially like how this week I was expecting it to just be hell. Like I've so dread like these days of my cycle, but I've kind of like got through it without too much turmoil. So I don't know if it's the chelation or the supplements I'm taking, because I'm taking like a lot of different supplements, as you know, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing really, because it's obviously working. And yeah, I'm just hoping that the next round isn't too bad, and then I can have a nice break for a week and get back on a 1.5 dose after that. So yeah, that's the update. So overall this round wasn't as bad as the last one. Like I had really quite bad side effects last time, felt like flu and stuff, but this time it was more generally like just aching, you know, like aching muscles, aching hands, aching jaw, tiredness and like fatigue, but not as bad getting out of bed. I feel like I've had more restful sleep as well, but I've had like some days of depersonalization where it's been like not non-existent but just totally bearable, like noticeable, but not to the point where it's made us anxious, like it's just kind of slightly there. And I've also had days where it's come back like not severely, but you know, like slightly, to where I'm like bothered by it and I'm feeling anxious by it. But I would say, like, from what my cycle usually is, I would say it's a definite massive improvement on these days. So hopefully next time I'll see an improvement as well. But this gives me a lot of hope for this month, because now I'm through these bad days, I'm able to like enjoy, you know, the next part of the next few weeks when my hormones balance out again as well, and I'm clearly going to get better from the chelation. So yeah, I'll update you as well next week, and I might start doing updates like every fortnight if I'm staying on the same dose, but then once I start the ALA, I'll definitely do updates weekly for a while, and then fortnightly, and then we'll see how we get on. So I hope this helps, and I hope this gives you some hope as well for when you start chelating, or if you have been chelating, just know that you need to just keep going and doing what you're doing, because that's the important thing, is to just keep moving forward. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.